Hey guys, again, Diana Haley, Uta Hagen, Challenge for the Actor, Chapter 14. So, this one is titled Moment to Moment, and I'm going to share a quote. The actor faces one of his most difficult problems, how to repeat the selected actions at every performance, moment to moment, as if it's happening for the first time. That's a big one. I remember one of my acting teachers told me that she had a student that got this role for a scene. I think she was on NCIS or something like that. And she had to cry in this scene. And they redid that scene 28 times. And she cried 28 times. That's insane. I can barely cry at all. But it's not always about crying, of course. But it is definitely about, especially when you're doing film and things like that, they do retake after retake after retake after retake. I always describe film as the same thing as theater, except it's tech week every single day. And so you're constantly doing things over and over and over and over again until things are so satisfied on the, technical side that they allow us to continue. That's why film takes so long. That's also why training is extremely important, because if you are not trained and you don't have that strength in your brain to be able to repeat things over and over and over again, they want someone that's able to do things over and over again, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So she suggests it is achieved by a suspension of knowledge of what is to come. So you can kind of review Chapter 9's video about expectations and how there's certain things that we expect to happen, and oftentimes in a story, just to keep the story going, there's a failure in those expectations. I don't know why this just came up to me, but everyone's seen Frozen, right? So when Anna goes to Elsa's ice castle, she's expecting that she's going to be able to talk to her sister and be able to bring her sister back to Arendelle. Well, that doesn't work. She gets chased out by a giant snow monster. So, that's what kept the story going, obviously, because if it was like, okay, I'll come back, then there's no story. So just being able to, as the actor, to suspend that knowledge of, so the point of this scene is that I'm going to go in there and try something and fail. Well, that's boring if you execute to the audience that you're going to fail. Suddenly, the stakes that you have to reach that goal drop. And it drops, and then it looks like no effort is being made. There's no energy. There's no storytelling there. So that's a good training aspect that every single actor needs to have. We need to be able to do things repeatedly, and we need to have the same expectation that something different might happen than what actually happens. This exercise, I'm sorry, I'm reading from my notes because, again, I don't want to get anything wrong. It's starting to get very, very detailed in her exercises, and I don't want to misquote a great teacher. So this exercise asks us to practice an event during which you search for a missing or lost item. What do we lose? We always are losing our phones, our wallets, our keys, our driver's license, which is hopefully in our wallet. Oh my God, both things are lost now. Social security card, credit card. That's always a big one. What's something else that's kind of big to lose? The key to your safe or something like that. What she asks us to do is to pretend that we have lost something. Now, when we lose something, we go, okay, sometimes you know, some of us, not me, because I'm completely irrational. You know, some of us rational folks will go, okay, let me first retrace my steps. I never do that. I just start running around like crazy, going, oh my God, where'd this go? I'm so dramatic. So anyways, so we go around from place to place. Say we lost our keys. So we're running over here. Is it on the dining room table? Is it on the living room table? Is it underneath the couch? Is it, you know, is it in my bag? And then we dump out our bags, or we, you know, we go grab the last pair of pants that we wore and we start digging through the pockets, you know, things like that. So she asks us to pretend we've lost an item and go through, you know, places where, you know, obviously we haven't lost this item. So we go through places that we would attempt to logically find this thing. So we're essentially in the middle of a problem, and then we're trying to find a solution but failing. So it kind of allows us sort of to be able to exercise the fact that we are expecting to find the keys here, but they're not here. So, so it kind of, like, again, makes us practice about losing out on those expectations and finding those failures. Now, after doing that, you can add a little something to it, and you can raise the stakes on that. If I don't find my keys, I'm going to be late to this big meeting that I have at work. So now the stakes are really big. How much bigger can they get? Well, if I don't get to this meeting, I might lose out on that promotion, because me attending this meeting means I might get this promotion, or it might mean that I stay where I'm at, you know, or it could be something even more hectic than that. Like, I have to go pick up my son from wherever. He's really scared and he's alone by himself, and his friend wasn't supposed to go home and leave him there, and now he's there alone and he's underage, and oh my God, I have to find my keys, where are my keys, you know? And so, like, the stakes can get really, really high, but you keep those stakes really high so that the frantic and every failure is even stressful for other people to see, because other people are going to understand, you know, where you're coming from. And so, so that's something that she wants us to practice, is losing an item and then trying to find that item and raising those stakes. I know she said something else. She says, make yourself really believe in each moment. For this exercise, as you will apply in other rehearsals, different plays and circumstances, really search as if you really don't know where this item is. So it's almost kind of like she said, it's suspending the knowledge. So it's almost like you really, I mean, of course, to convince others, you have to convince yourself. So if you can really mentally be able to flip your mind over and convince yourself, I've really lost this item. This is really happening to me right now at this moment. And you can use your imagination, and that can be the main focus, instead of you actually finding the keys, even though you know where they are because they've been set a particular place. Then those stakes and your motivation and your goals and your failures and expectations, they're all felt by the audience. And if you can make yourself convinced of it every single time, the audience will believe you every single time. And every take from the film will convince everybody every single time. And it's going to keep working. So it's just exercising and exercising that muscle for acting. Anyway, okay, that's it for chapter 14, and coming at you chapter 15. Bye.